Hey, good morning. Welcome to Tempethon 2021. And my name's Mike Hillis. I'm talking here from Oregon, USA. And we have a really exciting session here. It's the food diplomacy session. And we're going to start off with one of our co-founders of the Indonesian Tempe movement, better known as Ando. We're going to do his kickoff video right now. Kind of give an overview of everything that's happening, and then we'll move on to the rest of our session after that. So enjoy.
Hey everyone, welcome to Tempethon, the world's first Tempe virtual conference. We're also celebrating this World Tempe Month, and we've seen great new Tempe products, great Tempe initiatives for the sake of sustainability, health, and affordability of foods from all around the world. So we're going to kick off this whole Tempethon thing today by hitting all of the topics that we'll discuss at the Tempethon. Either it's, again, with health and fitness, we got entrepreneurship, innovation, we have cooking, and of course, fermenting. All right, so all this Tempe frenzy, in a good way, started from something personal, actually. So in 2014, I was a student. I was struck by these life-meaning questions. That is about why my life, what do I live for, how could I leave a mark, and what's my very own mission? I saw myself as just a speck in this vast galaxy, and that made me unable to fall asleep at night. I saw myself just one out of these millions of people around me. But meanwhile, their sufferings, can't I do anything? What should I do before new babies will be born and my lifetime will be over, my opportunity? So I simply Googled it and how to find life mission. And I got this Ikigai chart aligning something that I like and good at, what the world needs, and how I could make a living from. Well, I tried different things like sports and music and arts, but science hits me differently. It hits all of these circles. But at the same time, my grandpa told me that everything happens for a reason. So I started asking why for every single thing in my life. Why was I born as Indonesian, male? I like to eat, I like to travel, I like to do arts, always ambitious. Why was I born as the grandson of the father of food science and technology in Indonesia? So by connecting these dots, that led me to this Indonesian food biotechnology. It sounds fancy, but the manifestation of it might not sound as fancy as it seems. So I was lucky because in 2016, I traveled to the eastern part of Indonesia, Raja Ampat, Sawingrai village. I befriended with these amazing children as I went over there every other year and learned that probably making the world a better place is not a cliche anymore. I met with this inspiring kid, great leadership ability that made me think that if the world has local leaders like him and we can help them to achieve those potentials, we can make the world a better place. But then it came to the hard realization that most of them actually suffered from protein allergy and malnutrition. So I thought, what could I help as a food biotechnology enthusiast to do this course? So at the same time, interestingly, I was obsessed with bodybuilding. I wanted that six-pack and I want those big muscles and low-fat content of my body. I tried different sources of protein, but eating meat, whey protein, egg, milk either left me bloated or financially broke. So I did scientific literature study, and to my surprise, Tempe turned out to be a good source of protein. Well, Tempe has been around for more than 400 years. It was first found in a tiny village where my grandfather was born in, actually, Klaten, Central Java. And Tempe has been on my dining table in many various traditional recipes, mostly, that I would never get bored of. And the more I look at the literature, the more I got surprised because, so this has been combined with the so-called Tempe Bible, a review paper that I published this year with my advisors from my PhD dissertation. So nutritionally, you can see that Tempe contains similar amounts of energy and protein compared to beef, but with much lower saturated fat content, much higher fiber content, much higher calcium content, much lower sodium content, similar iron content, and tempeh can contain vitamin B12 that I thought only present in animal-derived products. And in terms of sustainability, if you look at how much protein we can produce for every unit of energy, here you can see that beef can produce 4.4 grams of protein per megajoule, while tempeh can produce 17 grams of protein. That is about 4 times more energy efficient. And now in terms of emission, so beef can produce 7.1 grams of protein. Tempeh can produce almost 160 grams of protein. That is almost 20 times more emission efficient. My mind was blown, and I thought this is such a hidden treasure from Indonesia for the world, just because if we develop tempeh accordingly, we can probably tackle these global issues like protein allergy, malnutrition, the #1 killer of heart, cardiovascular health disease, and the greenhouse gases that contribute to the climate crisis. And so I got this ikigai, I got my emotional why, and I got this passion for this particular food. So I began telling people about these facts, but many of them didn't actually believe, just because there's this severe negative stigma around tempeh in Indonesia. So our first president said that don't be a tempeh nation. Well, it makes sense just because the old way to make tempeh is by using your feet to stomp and peel the bean skins. But now with the new scientific facts about tempeh, let's be a tempeh nation. Tempeh is healthy, sustainable, and affordable food. So it all began at one dining table, one dinner discussion with my grandpa and my mom. Thought we needed to do something about this tempeh fact. Probably an international conference on tempeh would do. So on February 2015, we conducted this conference, a huge success, but we still saw it as just the tip of the iceberg. We still need to dig more. So with all this piling new facts about tempeh potential, for example, as an art, as something that we can innovate on, this should not be bound within the scientific field itself. So we created the Indonesian tempeh movement, serving like a sandbox for people to collaborate and create beautiful sandcastles to get people's attention towards the values of health, sustainability, and affordability. As people enjoy looking at these beautiful sandcastles, they realize they would benefit from it. Making something good, giving myself a life mission, probably. We started using this Instagram and Facebook account. I myself experimented on myself using tempeh as my bodybuilding regime. And many more people join now. You can't imagine these kind of bodybuilding attempts being done by professionals. We also made infographics, some educational videos. Without us realizing it now, we have collaborated with 14 countries through different activities, like teaching school kids and coming to jails. My mom taught the inmates how to produce their own foods and sell them outside. And also these many food diplomacy events all around the world. The Tempeh Movement USA is sprouting strongly now as a non-profit organization. And it all stems from these nerdy and close family relationship. So as many people enjoy the tempeh movement, there's still one thing that I think not many people realize, is that tempeh is not just a food. Tempeh can be seen as a process. So there have been 21 different ingredients researched in the forms of tempeh. And I saw evidence about this. For example, white bean tempeh burger in Brazil. We have this fava bean wat in Ethiopia. We have buckwheat tempeh soba noodle in Japan. We have this common bean weaning food in Tanzania. We have lupine tempeh as vegan meats in Europe. We have hemp seed tempeh burgers in the US. So interestingly, with all these different ingredients way to serve it, there's been consistent beneficial effects of the fermentation process itself. It reduces the fat content, has to do with salt, carbohydrate as well, increases the fiber content, the mineral content as well, antioxidants, paraprobiotics, so it's like dead probiotics, but still give you beneficial health effects, just like vaccine. And also vitamin B12, reducing phytic acid, these natural toxins and natural allergens that we don't want to be in our food. It also vegan-friendly, gluten-free, kosher, and halal. It's all about inclusivity and accessibility. Well, now we got a special case in Molo, Nusa Tenggara Timur, di Kisenda, our friend. So on the left, you will see a rice bean tempeh. I didn't know there's rice bean, new crops. And on the right, you would see this lima beans that people usually need to boil it for 12 times to remove this natural toxin. Now, can you imagine with this type of fermentation, we can explore new ways to enjoy new crops, making it more edible, food safe, and healthy. With these facts, I would like to invite you, before I end this talk, to imagine. Have you ever thought of how these crazy popular foods like burgers and pizzas travel to all corners of the world? Well, interestingly, that happened through a crisis, the World War II. Now, speaking of crisis, we've never been in a more serious crisis than what we are in now, the climate crisis. This is just timely because tempeh can be Indonesia's best kept food secret for producing healthy, sustainable, affordable, and delicious foods by utilizing local crops from around the world. This is a revolution, and I hope you can join the movement. So we will kickstart this movement with this Tempethon and onwards, and we look forward to seeing your tempeh creations. Thank you. Hey.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Ando, for that inspiring video. I'm just wanted to remind everybody, this is our inaugural World Tempeh Month. Originally, it was a National Tempeh Day in Indonesia on June 6th, but this year, for the first time, it's World Tempeh Month. So we're expanding it to a whole month with collaborators around the world. So it's very exciting. I wanted to first thank some of our sponsors. So we're powered by the Indonesian Tempeh Movement, Tofurky, Better Nature, Light Life, Tropical Kitchen. And we're going to have some time a little bit later to talk a little bit about what our nonprofit, we are the Tempeh Movement USA. So we are an offshoot of the Indonesian Tempeh Movement. We're certainly following a lot of their goals and objectives of what we're doing, but with our own American twist on it. We certainly are looking for opportunities to introduce tempeh as a sustainable, affordable protein source for more Americans. But we know that we want to honor where it comes from, Indonesia. And that's why our organization actually uses the spelling of tempeh from Indonesia. So that being said, I wanted just to give a very, very brief background of how I became so fascinated with this topic. You know, Indonesia, food, if we're talking about food diplomacy, we have to connect that to the idea of hospitality. And, you know, hospitality is welcoming people with open arms. And, you know, I've first traveled to Indonesia 25 years ago, fell in love with the people, the beaches, the surfing. I love surfing. I grew up on the beach in Southern California, so Indonesia is a great destination. But my cultural anthropology background really fascinated me with the country. And I soon found out that the real beating heart of the Indonesian people is the village. It's the kampung. And I spent a lot of time in remote villages. And the hospitality I received as an American, or I think, or any foreigner, it's just incredible. Like, it's just beyond words. And I think that hospitality that is so inherent in the Indonesian people is certainly starting to find fruition in Greensburg, Indiana, because we have a very, very charismatic woman who has shared her culture and her food with local folks that may have never had access to that before. And here we are today talking about how tempeh and its role in feeding hungry people and creating new partnerships and friendships and empowering local farmers in the Midwest is a model that we can probably replicate in a lot of regions. So I'd like to go ahead and move over to Greensburg right now and introduce our speakers today. We first have Indonesian Consul General Pak Mary Binsar Simorangkir. I hope I pronounced that right, Pak. Our second speaker is Mayor Joshua Marsh of Greensburg. And last but not least, Ibu Mayasari Effendi, owner of Mayasari Indonesia Grill and Mayasari Tempe. So, Pak Mary, silakan, please. We'd love to hear from you.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Mike Hiles, Major Joshua Marsh, and Pak Brian, Bu Maya, Pak Rick, Bu Betty, Pak Gordon, and my team here from Economic Department of Consulate. Thank you for inviting me at this important event about the Tempe movement organized by Pak Mike Hills and the team. Next. Okay, sorry for technical matters. We are talking this morning about food diplomacy. Some people say that food diplomacy, also culinary diplomacy, and some also say gastro diplomacy. What are they? Food diplomacy is a form of cultural diplomacy that uses food as a means to increase brand awareness of a nation. It is instrumental for creating cross-cultural awareness in the hope to improving interaction people to people and international cooperation. If we look at here, the slide, next. Sorry, back again. We look at here where some of us maybe remember President Obama went to Indonesia in 2010. He has visited. He met, of course, our president and visited Indonesia University of Indonesia in West Java. What he said in front of the professor and lecturer and students in the university said, "Hi, satay. Satay is grilled chicken skewers. Nasi goreng is fried rice, and bakso, meatballs. All of them are very delicious." Then he said in the beginning of his speech, satay is, I think, we can say that branded to Indonesia. Bakso in Indonesia is meatball, and in English is meatballs. So he still remember bakso is very delicious. So meaning culinary is also branded to the nations. Okay. And another definition given by Madam Hillary Clinton called food diplomacy as the oldest diplomatic tool. Yep, she said that through culinary, through food, we can make the diplomacy, we can make negotiation between two countries. We can connect or we can communicate one another about our bilateral relationship through food. Next. Okay. I think we all aware that Indonesia is the world's largest archipelago country and has about more than 17,500 islands. I don't know how you can imagine how much the island we have. And Indonesia also has been well known as a world spicy island. I can say this because the spice islands like Malacca, a small group of islands in the northeast of Indonesia, between Celebes and New Guinea. They include Halmahera, the largest island, Seram Island, Buru, Ambon, Ternate, and Tidore, and the Aru and Kai Island group. This island were known for being the largest producers of maize, nutmeg, cloves, and pepper in the world, not in the region. So I can say that Indonesia is the spicy island country. So I come now to my presentation, what we are doing in our consulate. Our consulate covers about 13 states in the Midwest. So since last year, we have promoted Tempe as well. Maybe Ibu came to our consulate, right?
Yes,
last year,
in
2019.
Yes,
yeah,
the first one, pictures.
Yeah, and then how we can promote our food diplomacy, we also organize cooking demo. We make it at a time, what is it that we can make? Rendang?
Sweets.
Yeah, bakwan, rendang, something like that. In the cooking demo is Indonesian traditional food. Also, we have a promotional event in the Indiana, in the Cafe Bali in Bloomington. Just a couple of weeks ago, we have Indonesian Gourmet Day in Minahasa restaurant in downtown Chicago, where we promote a variety of food of Indonesia, like rendang, rica-rica, the typical, very traditional food from Sulawesi, and also Indonesian Gourmet Day in Bandung, Wisconsin. And last week, we just make an event so-called coffee cupping event. It is intended to promote our coffee specialty coffee, the premium quality of coffee to the public of United States, in particular in the Midwest. And also we have event last week or 2 weeks ago maybe, Indonesian Coffee Day at Peach Coffee, the biggest coffee in the downtown of Chicago. Again, all of these events are intended to promote food diplomacy. So this is one of our main program, food diplomacy in our consulate in this year. And hopefully for the next year, we will continue this main, very important program. And another one is Indonesian Coffee Day. These two programs is our main program in our consulate in relation to promote in food diplomacy in the Midwest. Okay, next. Tempe is one of the foods that originally come from Indonesia. In the slide, you can see that tempe can be developed into several dishes, including tempe stick, tempe stir fry, tempe salad. Perhaps Bu Maya will talk about this more detail. Maybe Bu Maya can say about 10 kinds of food, food that can be made from tempe. I just put here only three dishes: tempe stick, tempe stir fry, and tempe salad. Okay. Next. Okay. Tempe made from fermented soybean. Yep. And tempe is mainly produced by small to medium scale enterprises. Our government has regulated, because this is a very important commodity, So that's why our government of Indonesia has regulated the application of Indonesian national standard, so-called CNI, or in Indonesia SNE, to Tempe procedure. So we have regulated about the quality, packaging, and how to process it. So it will be served as a good quality Tempe for the people in general. So it is very important commodity to our government. So that's why we are very concerned about not only quality, but the supply of soybean itself. So I just talked to the mayor this morning about that. So we can talk again how they can make it more discussion about the supply of soybean later on from Indiana. Okay, next. Ini nomor berapa ya? Okay, I saw Bu Maya slide this morning. He will also give presentation about the content or the nutrition of tempe. So I just touched down very little things about back to tadi. The tempe, every 100 gram of tempe, we can have calories, protein, fat, carbo, vitamins, and minerals. I think Pak Ando has also explained about this in his introductory presentation. And what is the benefit of tempe for the people? Tempe is proven to decrease blood cholesterol level, reduce hunger, promote digestive health, and increase bone density. And as a tempe is high in calcium. Yeah. Thus, tempe is a good source of protein, minerals, hence a nutritious and perfect food during the pandemic recently. Yeah. Okay, next. This is what I just mentioned before. The calorie in tempe per 100 gram, about 170 calorie, protein 14 gram. But perhaps the expert Maya will explain about this later on, about the nutrition of the tempe in detail. Next. Okay, this is very important for my part as a government representative in Indonesia, in the Midwest. Indonesia needs about 2 up to 3 million tons of soybean per year. Yeah. And 90% of it is used to produce for tempe and tofu. This main commodity, main traditional food of Indonesian people in all parts of Indonesia. But we have only domestic production amount 300,000 tons. That means fulfills only 10% of our total domestic demand. So there is still 90% lack of supply. So that's why Indonesia imports about 90% of soybeans to fulfill our domestic demand. And USA is the biggest exporter of soybean to Indonesia. If you look at the table on the left, that we import about 2.4 million ton every year, something around that. And United States of America is the first exporter of soybean to Indonesia. It's around 2.2 million ton, and followed by Canada, Malaysia, Argentina, France, China, and Brazil only until 2019, and New Zealand a little bit in 2018. So what I wanna say here that United States is the biggest, still the biggest exporter of soybean to Indonesia until now. Okay. what states from United States as biggest exported to Indonesia? Let's see. Illinois is number one. Yeah, Illinois state is the biggest supplier of soybean to Indonesia until now. They will take the share about 43% of the total import of it in Indonesia. And Louisiana is not my accreditation, so I said the biggest in my accreditation is Illinois in the Midwest, and followed by Washington, and then Ohio 4%, Michigan 3%, Wisconsin 1%. And if you look at the blue circle, about only 0.06% from Indiana we import soybean. So that's why I come here and wanna have a discussion with you. How can we make it a more stronger relationship with Indonesia on the soybean? Okay. This is, I think, the also important thing I wanna say that tempeh and tofu remains the biggest consumption, as I mentioned earlier, and primary soybean-based product in our country. So no, everyone every day eat tofu and tempeh. Like here, perhaps
Beef or pork.
beef or pork
bacon.
or bacon, something like that.
Yeah.
So without pork, without beef, I don't know how can you can eat. You can have your lunch or you can have your dinner. Same with Indonesia. If there is no tempeh, there is no tahu on the table, on the plate.
Yes.
So it's like there is something missing. So they always look for tempeh and tofu on, in their plate for lunch and dinner. And you see that in 2025, our estimated number domestic tempeh and tofu consumption will be rise to up to more than 31.25%. So it's a significant number rise of the soybean demand in Indonesia. Okay, next. This is what next, I think. Yeah. Nomor berapa ya? Sorry, yeah. Moving forward about tempeh, I can share with you now our Indonesian Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy submitted tempeh as an intangible cultural heritage to UNESCO to promote this iconic Indonesian dish internationally. Based on evidence from the Serat Centennial tales, tempeh has been around since the 16th century in Indonesia. So we can say here originally tempeh is from Indonesia. So that's why we bring this issue to UNESCO to make it the tempeh as an intangible cultural heritage. And let's consider that the tempeh that can be World Cultural Heritage soon, we hope. Yeah, next. This measure that we have to do for the coming years or coming months in our consulate, we have been continuing our food diplomacy event in our consulate in all states that will be part of my work. And I think we have already talked to Bumaya that
Yes.
we already have a plan to organize such as like tempeh promotion in this restaurant later on.
Yeah, August the 15th for raising money canine
Okay.
with police department.
Yeah. Okay. So we can make some plan, not only one time and then finish. So we can make another event or bring Bumaya to another state.
Oh, good. That's fine. We are ready.
To Kentucky or to Kansas. So we can talk together there about the Tempe healthiness and Tempe
Yes.
as a good nutrition for people. And we also targeted promotion in media, of course. And this is, I just mentioned that we will collaborate with our diaspora in promoting Tempe and also the other food promotional event in our accreditation, my accreditation in the Midwest. Okay, and the other thing that very important for me to be here in the Greensburg this morning is I would like to engage and I would like to what so-called have more stronger relationship with Indiana in particular to ensure the continuous supply of soybean to Indonesia. Yeah, you know, as I explained earlier, that we lack of supply about 90% to fulfill our domestic demand of soybean every year. So Illinois has fulfilled about 40% and 45% from Louisiana, but in the couple of months in the past, I don't know what happened. The supply is reduced so significantly. So that's why we wanna try to what I said, find the new resource, not sources of soybean to fulfill our demand in my country, in our country, and also I want to engage cooperation with the U.S. University to do research and produce high quality soybean varieties that can grow Indonesia climate in the future. Yeah, so we can grow by ourselves the soybean, then can fulfill some of amount of our demand in our country. But this takes time, I think, not just not can be done in one night, the overnight. So it needs more discussion and more intensive talk with stakeholders in Indiana. And then improving the productivity of Indonesia soybean farmers as well. That's the things that we have to do in the near future about the soybean. I think that's all of my presentation. And hopefully by having discussion this morning through the webinar, I can get input, I can get more suggestion and new ideas how we can cooperate, how we can solve, and how can we strengthen our bilateral cooperation between Indonesia and also Indiana government, in particular the Greensburg County, where I'm very proud that Mayor of Greensburg with us today, and I am very happy to follow this Zoom this morning. Okay, I think that's all my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Pak Anjan. Mayor Marsh, are you ready to present? Hello. Are we on? Can you hear me?
Can you raise your voice?
Hi.
Yes.
Okay, good. There we go. Yeah, cool. Good. Are we supposed to start?
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. We're excited to welcome everyone from around the world to the city of Greensburg this morning, and incredibly proud of one of our own, Maya, who's done a fantastic job. We've put together a short video discussing about what this means for our community to have this investment along with other partners throughout the region. And it also gives a little bit of visual interest, I guess, this morning during the video about how farming happens in southeastern Indiana to share a little bit of what we have here in this part of the state. So I'm incredibly excited to have some of the producers and Maya and the Consul General with us this morning, along with our Economic Development Director, Brian Robbins, so that we can share with the world what we're doing right here. So with that, I think we'll play the video and then we'll be on to the next thing.
Hello, and welcome to my family farm here in Greensburg, Indiana. I'm Joshua Marsh, and I have the pleasure to serve as mayor for the city of Greensburg. Growing up on a family farm myself, I understand how important it is for agriculture to make the world go round. We're incredibly excited about today's presentation, and I appreciate the hard work that goes into it, along with all of the agriculture products surrounding the world. Here in Greensburg, we are proud to have a large soybean presence. We're home to Greensburg Soy Processors, a locally owned and operated grain elevator and feed mill which distributes a variety of farm and show animal items. Under the leadership of the Fogg family, this company has played an integral role in Greensburg's agricultural vitality. The feed that they provide allows farmers to produce livestock for economic gain and foster a love for agriculture and our youth through the support of showing livestock. Thanks to the hardworking farmers and businesses like these, our population possesses an extraordinary amount of knowledge and skill in the areas of agriculture and soybean production. This passion for agriculture, coupled with our passion for culture, provides a unique opportunity for growth. The collaboration of businesses, farmers, entrepreneurs, and local leadership create a powerful combination of people and ideas to contribute to the betterment of our city as we preserve the agricultural foundation that has made us who we are today, as well as continue to improve and expand. We look to the support of that fusion of local farmers, businesses, and culture. One of our great downtown businesses is doing just that, striving to promote a strong relationship between local producers and restaurants while creating a lasting cultural impact. We've been honored to have Maya and Mayasari's Indonesian Grill as a vital component of our downtown area since 2012. As the only Indonesian restaurant in Indiana, Mayasari's Grill is able to provide not only Greensburg, but our entire state with a unique cultural dining opportunity. Housing diverse cultures is fundamental to the growth and well-being of any community. We are always energetic to welcome new opportunities to the city of Greensburg. And by bringing Tempe to town, in collaboration with local soybean farmers, Maya is doing just that. With an incredible vision for Tempe distribution across the Midwest, Maya hopes to make this sustainable, high-protein and vegan meal option more accessible to communities just like mine. I greatly admire and appreciate her hard work and determination in this process. We are grateful to have a hub of Indonesian culture in our city and are enthusiastic about the collaboration between Maya's Indonesian Grill, Greensburg Soy Processors, and the country of Indonesia. Indiana is the third largest exporter of soybeans to Indonesia and has conducted this trade since 2007. This feat is possible thanks to the commitment of excellence held by Indiana soybean farmers, which include many of Greensburg's dedicated families, just like mine. With the marrying of business and agriculture, Greensburg can provide new economic and cultural opportunities to the region. Greensburg is a city that has taken part in direct foreign investments for decades to make high-quality products. We're not afraid of international relations, and our high-tech capabilities and growing industries allow us to take that step. Over the years, we've been proud to partner with Paris-based Valeo Engine Cooling, as well as Tokyo-based companies such as Showa Powdered Metals, and Honda Manufacturing. In 2008, Honda Manufacturing built its first car and has continued to distribute vehicles to be sent all over the world. Our thriving foreign relationships can only be enhanced as we seek that same level of partnership in international agriculture as we've had in international manufacturing. In connecting our ag sectors with countries across the world, we will create a meaningful partnership that furthers the economic development of our city and benefits farmers here and abroad. We can continue to build relationships with international groups, and we know the importance of investing in our people to provide that unique experience that attracts working individuals to Greensburg. We offer unwavering support of our local businesses and encourage local entrepreneurs like Maya in their endeavors. Our millions of dollars in investments in quality of life for our citizens show that commitment to expanding housing opportunities and fulfilling needs. We have worked and will continue to work to make Greensburg, Indiana a place that people from around the world will want to call home. When farmers provide for local businesses, their communities can create sustainable habits. In the instance of Tempe, when producers like soy processors partner with Mayasari's grill, culture, economics, and agriculture meet to improve our citizens' quality of life and contribute to our economy. As Greensburg continues to grow, we reflect upon the asset that soybean farms and cultural restaurants bring to our city and look forward to our continued opportunities to support local agriculture and businesses in the development of strong international relations. This tiny soybean, grown right here in Greensburg, Indiana, gives us the opportunity to leave footprints across the world.
Yes, Indonesian.
Hello. Hello, my name is Mayasari Effendi, and then this is my assistant. You want to introduce your name? Okay, what your age? 8. And then what grade are you? Third. Okay. May peace be upon us. Selamat pagi di waktu Indonesia. Selamat malam ya waktu Indonesia. Thank you for this exciting opportunity and then the time. It was just so happy. I'm here with the Consul General, with the Director of Economic Development, Brian Robin, and then the Mayor, Mayor Josh, and then Ibu Patty, our supplier, and Pak Gordon is our supplier as well. And then my husband, right there, we cannot see. And then our investors on the back, Pak Mike Piket. Pak Mike has been living in Indonesia, specifically in Bandung, for more than 2 years. And then our employees around here, thank you so much for your time. We can start our PowerPoint. Okay, so why I'm here? My husband wrote the book, Greensburg, Indiana, Why Here? You know, so in 2004, I got immigrated to the United States for further my education. So most of us here graduated from Purdue. Pak Gordon is the boiler up, and then Ibu Patty is boiler up, and then I'm here, and then my daughter is a boiler maker as well right now, finishing her Doctor of Pharmacy. So we are here in this town is being our hometown right now. Next slide, please. So the title right now is Introduction of Tempe to the Midwest. As you know, Midwest is a different diet. They have meat and potatoes. And here you are, Maya brought Tempe to people who just eat meat and potatoes. They didn't know what is Tempe. And then the crazy Asian girls here, and then with my husband opened the restaurant. Okay, we're just selling the Tempe. And surprisingly, a lot of people love them. But you just have to tweak here and there to make a Tempe more interesting. So how to introduce that? Okay, next slide, please. Next slide, I think, yeah. Like Pak Mary told that every Indonesia always eat Tempe every single day, every Indonesian. It's the same like me. When I moved to Indiana, I didn't see any tempeh. Then from there on, I start to make my own tempeh. So I tried to explain when I was at Purdue. I tried to explain my roommate or my classmate what is tempeh. They always think that tempeh is tofu, and I said that no, tempeh is not tofu. They are brothers and sisters. They are best friends, but they're different. So I cannot start cooking a tempeh. Just again, we couldn't find tempeh in Indiana at the time. So I make my own tempeh. I make tempeh since like 17 years ago. Then luckily, I was just surprised again. I was living in the middle of soybean field. So for me, it's really easy to find my raw material to make tempeh. Okay, next. Uh, like I told you, every time I make tempeh, everybody is always asked, what is tempeh? And I try to explain, tempeh is the traditional Indonesian soya bean products that is made from fermented soya beans. And it's made by natural culturing and controls fermentation process that beat soya beans into a cake form. And then I start making, I curry, I deep fry them, I make a tempeh, delightful tempeh salad. And my husband bought me a restaurant, this restaurant, and then part of the item that I sold is tempeh. Next, please. Now, and then instead of I explaining tempeh is soybean cake, I explaining to my customer that tempeh is rich in many nutrition. Working with local farmers like Pak Gordon and Ibu Perry, I get the quality, first premium quality soybeans product. Therefore, I can explain to them easily in 3 ounce or 84 gram can be contain 162 calories, have high proteins, has iron, has calcium, has niacin. And then by this pandemic coming, they just surprisingly, my tempeh sale is high peak. It's just like going crazy. So this is why we built the tempeh factory. Before I just built 100 units a week. Right now we can make like 600 to 1,500 units a week. With one unit has 10 ounce of tempeh. And then right now we start supplying to a lot of stores. We are collecting almost 17 stores right now. Plus we have online business as well. Next. Tempeh has a probiotic ability for us, for our body to go to the bathroom easily. And then it can fill you up easily. So when people has to get a diet or have to lose their weight, a lot of people come to my restaurant and to buy tempeh. Yeah, next. What is soya bean? How I can get soya beans? Like I told you, I'm living in the Decatur County, Indiana. Give me the ability to make my own tempeh with premium quality of the tempeh itself. And then in my restaurant, I start selling curry tempeh, breading tempeh, or I can sell, right now I name tempeh mendoa. And then we will see how my customer like tempeh mendoa in the future. And then my grandson has what they call it, Sebastian?
Soya bean?
No, this one.
Oh, tempeh fries.
Tempeh fries. Okay, tell them what is tempeh fries? Why you like it?
Tempeh fries are like French fries that instead of made out of potatoes, they're made out of tempeh.
So do you sell tempeh?
Yep.
Okay, good. Do you sell? I sell tempeh. Sell it.
I sell tempeh
As the special in the restaurant.
as the special in the restaurant, but we don't have it on the menu yet.
But you will. Yeah, you will, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you sell that to who? Tell it. Do you sell to who? To your friend, Christine?
To my friends, I sold one tempeh fries to my friend Christian the first time.
Yeah. How much is that you sell it?
$1 for each. It can be up to 10 tempeh fries.
Yeah, this is right. Would you like to show the tempeh fries to them? This is tempeh fries. Yeah. How do you eat them?
Just easy. So
With the sauce or not?
you can have sauce with it or not, because that's up to you.
Yeah. How about you? You like it with sauce?
I like it with the pan sauce. I haven't even tried it with the pan sauce yet.
Yeah.
But I have tried it without the pan sauce.
Yeah. Okay. My assistant Sebastian is very picky eating, but with the tempeh he eat very good, right? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Here's my grandson, the oldest one. So he helped a lot of restaurant work with us, especially when he get promotion for tempeh fries. He promoted a lot of tempeh fries into our customer. Next, please. Okay. What is our future horizons?
Can I do this one?
Okay, you can do that.
We are making our first steps to make tempeh in mass production. This will be
Distributed
distributed
to several
to
retail
retail stores. Of course,
It's
it's
not,
not easy job,
but
but
it is.
it's beginning to happen.
Yeah.
When you are visiting Indiana, please stop by our restaurant where we serve tempeh products with local ingredients and local tastes.
Along with the
Along
global
with the
spirit of
spirit.
Indonesia. Okay.
If you
Our soybean producers from abroad, please consider
buying our wonderful
Indiana soybeans.
Indiana soybeans that can be used to create a new source of food, just like I have done.
Okay. And then we will see our video. Yeah. This is the land where our soybeans come from.
You know, well, I'm a chicken fried and cold beer on a Friday night, a pair of jeans that fit just right, and the radio. Well, I was raised up beneath the shade of a Georgia pine, and that's home, you know. Sweet tea, pecan pie, and homemade wine, where the peaches grow. In my house, it's not much to talk about, but it's filled when love is grown in southern ground, and a little bit of chicken fried, cold beer on a Friday night, a pair of jeans that fit just right.
I want to show you what is tempeh. Tempeh is 100% soybean fermentation.
Tempeh is a plant-based protein source that originated in Indonesia. So many people now are looking to a meat alternative. It's 100% gluten-free, natural product, organic, vegan.
I was grown up with tempeh. When we were kids, we didn't realize how healthy is tempeh.
Soybeans have been shown to improve the digestion. It's healthy eating A 3-ounce package of tempeh consists of iron, calcium, niacin, magnesium, and phosphorus. Tempeh is very affordable. It's high in proteins, high in minerals.
Since I came to America 16 years ago, we realized how valuable this item. Back in Indonesia, we have to go to the market to find the soya beans. Here, I just go to the backyard. Here you go, my soya beans is there.
The quality in this area is very high, and the local farmers around here, they're very proud, and it's important for them to produce the highest quality beans.
I love tempeh. It's just so creamy. I want to show you how to prepare tempeh from the soya beans, the fermentation, being a tempeh, and then on the table.
She will show you how to make a delightful tempeh salad. Take tempeh, cut it in small cubes. She puts different spices in. You fry it, and then it goes on top of a bed of spinach with some sauces that she makes and fruit. It's a salad with a completely vegan attitude to it. There's also called tempeh goreng. It's a piece of tempeh, and you can either have it by itself or naked, which is breaded. You fry it, and then you can dip it with any different sauces, and it's just a tempeh by itself. This is the way most tempeh is served in Indonesia.
My mission is help a lot of people across the nation because tempeh is very sustainable.
There are places where food can be hard to come by, and tempeh is a very nutrient-rich source, and this could help greatly in that area. The end goal is once we begin producing tempeh on a very large scale, we hope to sell to the entire Midwest and then eventually start exporting to various countries around the world.
Let's feed the global with our local ingredients.
Maya just loves what she does. If she didn't have a passion for this, we wouldn't be here. Just amazing what she can create.
Remember, like so I would like you to try. This is tempeh mendoan.
Oh, that's delicious.
Yeah, that's delicious.
Oh my, is that good?
I know.
Yeah, that's good.
What do you think?
It's really good. It's delicious.
Okay.
Really good. Very good. Very good. Good.
This is very good.
I like it with the peanut sauce.
It's good. I like the beef more too.
Oh yeah, it
Really
is.
good.
You like
That
it?
is really good.
Good.
I like that a
You
lot.
like more?
Yes.
Maya's tempeh is the best.
This is absolutely delicious. Thank you.
Yeah, tempeh is good.
Tempeh is good.
It's good.
Tempeh is good.
Okay. So just say, and then I would like to give this opportunity to Ibu Patty and Pak Gordon to speak a little bit for our soybean suppliers. Yeah. This is Ibu Patty from the Langland Farm.
Patty Langfisher from Langland Farms, and thank you so much. Thank you for this opportunity to share with you the opportunities that we have in our area with a very high quality soybeans. We are a processor with a lot of licensing and certification and the ability to move our products into greater markets. Excuse me. Not only regionally here in Indiana, but we have greatly enjoyed working with Maya to give an organic soybean. We have opportunities to work with the farmers with a very high quality soybean. Soybeans can be grown many, many places, but in our region, Indiana, the Midwest, the quality of the soybeans is very high, giving you the opportunity to work with a greater product, even higher nutrition, to get the soybeans from growers like Gordon, who we also work with. Excuse me. We have the opportunity to make those clean and ready for food production. So in our plant, to carry that licensing, to create a food grade license, a kosher license, an organic, non-GMO certification is the what we bring to the table. We work with a number of farmers locally as Gordon, but also throughout the Midwest, bringing those high quality soybeans in and then being able to get them in such containers and packaging, working with small operations that are growing and expanding this market with Tempe and the Indonesian foods, along with larger suppliers or larger buyers who need that type of supply. So Langland Farms, we've been here. We appreciate family connections, and in our family, we have 6 generations with our family farm. So we are innovative. We bring a lot to the table, but we also appreciate all sizes of farms. You can be small, you can grow, you can also be a larger person, and you all get the same quality.
And then Pak Gordon has black bean, and then I try Tempethon from black bean. Go ahead, Pak Gordon.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Consulate. I think the word food diplomacy is a great terminology here that we have to look. In other words, we as the producers on one side, the finished product on the other, we want to be a teammate all the way along the line. Our goal is to produce a high quality product. And I think some of the things that we're learning over the years is through genetics, through testing, we can make more minerals in those products. And so the final product is even better. So we really appreciate working on a team. And I think the thing is that we all want to be better. And so this is great. When Maya come here, I've tried everything on the menu restaurant, and it's all great. And so I have total confidence that she's going to make this whole project work. I'm very, very happy to be a part of this whole team. And we as producers want to serve you, whether you be in Decatur County or Indonesia. We want to be a teammate. Thank you very much.
And then Brian Robin as the Director of Economic Development for Greensburg here in the city.
Yeah, I won't talk too much on this, but I did want to capitalize, as Gordon said, and the Consul General here mentioned, the food diplomacy, how important that is. Those shared experiences, those relationships that are built through simply eating together, and there's no better example of this than in Mayasari's grill. Who knew that Indonesia and Midwest rural Indiana could be connected in such a way, and it was done completely through food. And it turns out that we've always known the wonderful soybean growers that we have in our community, and little did we probably weren't aware at all of the product in Indonesia that is as common as sliced bread here in the United States. And putting those two together is really the makings for a wonderful wonderful product and a wonderful future. So not only is this food just remarkably nutritious and good for you, but it's also an example of relationships across the globe. And we're very, very happy to have Maya and the Consul General here, and we're really excited about the futures.
And then Mike Pickett, as our investors, want to say something? Yeah. Mike has been living in Bandung, like I told you earlier. So he's very familiar with Tempe. And then Mike is growing banana leaves, if you see that, banana trees. And then he supply our banana leaves for our Tempe. So this is our presentation for today. We open for discussion, question, and then we can answer one of us if related to the question. Thank you. We back to Pak Mike. Pak Mike Hillis, mangga silakan.
Thank you, Bu Maya. Yeah, I think there'll be a lot of opportunities for questions. At this point right now, I think, why don't we do 2 or 3 questions from if there's some people in the audience. We do want to be conscious of time. I'll just say I'm amazed at the conversation happening in the restaurant in Indiana right now. There's so many different avenues forward for us, especially our relationship here in Oregon with the Midwest and our objectives in trying to expand access to more Americans for Tempe. I'd like to actually go ahead and let my partner in the nonprofit, Willie Chambers, just share his perspective for a couple of minutes about how he got introduced to Indonesia and Tempe. So I'll bring Willie on right now.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to the Tempe community around the globe. My name is Willie Chambers, and I'm somewhat an anomaly to the conversation, the global conversation, as it relates to Tempe, almost as Maya is in Indiana, introducing the meat and potato demographics there to a plant-based product called Tempe. My first introduction to Tempe was kind of off the cuff. First and foremost, I've been in the food industry for 40 plus years. I've worked primarily retail, and within the retail industry, I was a meat cutter. I started as a meat apprentice, so I've been 30 plus years as a meat cutter. But here it is today, I'm talking about a plant-based product called Tempe, and just the whole plant-based phenomena that we see in the country as well as in the world. And they call people like me flexitarian, so I kind of sit between 2 worlds, not dominated by either or, but I appreciate my past history of meat cutting, meat managing and such for a number of retail corporations around the country, as well as now my introduction 5 years ago to Tempe. And it happened just kind of impromptu where I call him Tempe Mike, but Mike came into our restaurant here and he was looking at doing some social enterprising things with the community here in Rockwood or in Gresham. And the thing that stuck out to me, which I heard Maya and definitely Ando talk about, was I didn't know what Tempe was 30 years in the industry, the retail industry, but he had mentioned Tempe and I said, oh no, here we go again with another plant-based product. But what stuck out to me was the fermentation of it. And when he said it was a fermented product, it really caught me because I'm very familiar with fermentation through kombucha, which is a phenomena in America, but it's always been that way around the world. And that opened up the door for me to really say, okay, let me understand or learn a little bit more about Tempe. And then when I spent 20 days in Indonesia with the privilege of Pop Mike Priska, his wife, who is a Balinese, and then September from Tofurky, and that 20 days, I was sold on the Tempe movement primarily, but definitely Tempe became kind of my mission and purpose in life. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. That's why I'm kind of one of the few members as it relates to an African American. Now remember, there's many African Americans that live, speak, and eat the plant-based, the whole phenomena of the health, the nutritional, and all the things that go with plant-based lifestyle. But for the Tempe movement, you have a surfer from California, and you have me from California originally, out of South Central, Compton, Watts, and all that, saying, no, Tempe movement is something that we have given our lives to what we want to. And so when I look at the bigger picture, the past, the present, and the future of the discussion, we've looked at the past with Renano family. We are looking at the present with Ando Amadeus and his PhD and his whole Tempe Bible. But I look at it pretty much from a view of what is the future of Tempe to the world. And to me, it's two, maybe threefold. One, it's something that has been around 400 plus years, but it's been pretty much quiet. Nationally, as it relates to Indonesia, it's their subsistence, it's their how they live and nutritionally they benefit. But the rest of the world is finally being woke to a product that is probably less than 3, maybe 4 ingredients in the fermentation process. But I'm looking at it from the nutritional and the benefits of how it can assist the rest of the world. Some of it is stunting, which was talked about yesterday with Wita and what she has been doing. But there's a global crisis and pandemic with stunting that I think Tempe will play a big part in. South America, we know the challenges there. Definitely Asia, we know the challenges with stunting. Africa is unquestionably a challenge for stunting. But now we're having that challenge in America, which says a lot about our nutritional priorities, how we have kind of compromised the nutrition for just calories and those things there. So my interest is really deep. It's global. The continent of Africa is definitely an issue that we're talking about. Papua, we're going to be there soon, sometime in the near future. So looking forward to it, but that's kind of my short 2 or 3 minute story of my participation with the Tempe movement, meeting Ando, an event we did here in Gresham 5 years ago almost. And I appreciate being a part of this first Tempethon and see what happens after that. In Indiana, we need to partner with you in being a part of what we're doing here in Gresham, in Rockwood, in Oregon, and in the Pacific Northwest as well. But thank you again. Here's Pop Mike.
Okay, thank you, Willie. Well, I am cognizant of the time here. I do know our operators operating the Zoom call are looking at about 10:30 in the evening in Indonesia now. They've had a very, very long day. I'd like to get ready to wrap it up here and just kind of close here with, I know there may be a lot more questions out there, and I want to remind everybody that within the next 3 to 4 days, this video and all the other videos with Tempethon are going to be uploaded to our YouTube channel for the Tempe movement. So we'll be able to start distributing all these videos to a wide audience very, very soon. You know, with the issue of time though, right now, I think it would probably be best to wrap it up here and just let you know that at 11 a.m. here Pacific time, Seth Tibbett of Topher, he will be leading an incredible session on Tempe innovators and entrepreneurs. And please follow that. And if you can't make it, again, everything is going to be uploaded to our Tempe Movement YouTube account in the next few days. So that being said, Ibu Maya, I know you probably had some questions that we wanted to get covered, but there'll be ways for people to field questions through our social media accounts, and we will go to extreme efforts to get every question answered about collaboration opportunities between all of us. So that being said, I want to again remind everybody who our sponsors have been: Powered by Indonesian Tempe Movement, Big Change Agency, Light Life, Better Nature, Masak TV, Tropical Kitchen, Tofurky, and Elmin. So we are going to close the session now, and thank you so much for your involvement, and really excited about future days ahead with Tempe. Thank you. Terima kasih.